Alright guys, I'm excited to paint this campfire with you. So just so you know, you're going to need a palette with at least these 5 colors. So these are your primary colors. We've got black, white, yellow, red, and blue. If you have other colors, like you have green or orange, throw those in because they'll be pretty helpful, okay? Otherwise, I'll show you how to make them with those colors. You're going to need a blank mixing plate. And you're also going to need a few brushes. So you'll need one that's kind of pointy and thin. Maybe one that's a little bit thicker, like that. It doesn't have to be that thick. It could be like, you know, even like that, just a little bigger. And then maybe one that's like a middle point. And they don't have to be exactly like mine. Some could be flat, they can be round, they could be pointy, whatever works for you, okay? All right, so we're gonna start with our background first. And the neat thing about doing this is in a video is you guys can pause and let things dry, which is honestly how paintings come out to look the best. So you guys could do like one session, take a break, or come back to it on another day. It's totally up to you. So you can pause it wherever you like, but I will give you the suggestions on when I think pausing it would be good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a light blue. So I'm gonna take a pretty good sized dollop of regular blue and a pretty good sized dollop of white. And I'll mix those in to make a lightish blue. And we'll even take a little extra white, so it's a really light blue. Okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in with that light blue, and I'm gonna go in kind of like circular strokes. Does not have to be perfect. And you could choose different colors. So I'm gonna do these colors, but your blue can be completely different. Or you may say, well, hey, I'm gonna go for more of like a purple. It's totally up to you. And I'm kind of going in these like swirly type of position. And if you don't want to do the swirly thing, you can kind of like fade it in other ways. So these are just suggestions. Go ahead and be creative. So now I'm going to go with the blue straight from my palette. That's because it's dark. If you don't have a dark blue, you can add a tiny bit of black to it. Now my paintbrush accidentally got a little black, and I'm actually okay with that because I want a little bit of black in this blue. So again, I'm kind of making it circular. And now it's getting dark in some areas. But I want that light blue to show through still. And I'm not pushing very hard, I'm just lightly sweeping through. The lighter I sweep through, the less I overblend it. If I just turn it into one color, if I kind of push down really hard, I'll turn it into one color. So now I've got this here, kind of on both sides, right? And I'm kind of leaving this little space here for a moon I'm gonna add. Okay. And now if I want, I can get real creative and I can say, you know, I'm gonna take this light blue, I'm gonna add a little red to it so that I can get this purple color. And you could add even darker, you can like play with the purple. So purple's mostly blue and red, but you can add a little white or black depending if you wanna lighten it or darken it. So I've got this purple color and now I'm gonna throw that in too. And at this point, you could add streaks of black, whatever you want your night sky to have in it, okay? So you have all these little mixtures. And I don't have to go all the way to the bottom. If you do, it's no big deal. So I can kind of go to maybe like right here. It does not have to be perfect. Awesome, from there you can throw in just like any regular blue streaks like I'm throwing in. Whatever you feel like going for. If you want pink in your night sky, go for it. Have fun with it. This is your painting, so there's no right or wrong way. Whatever makes you happy. So I've got some blues in here. I'm just gonna play with it a little bit. Same for you. You can keep working on some colors you wanna add. So I added some straight white, and you can see I put that around my moon. You don't have to do that. To me, I just like it. Gives it a little glow, and it blends in with my blue and purple around that area. All right, so once you got your sky the way you want it to look, now you're gonna go in and take a giant glob of black, and you're gonna cover the bottom black, okay? And cover that bottom black. Awesome. It doesn't have to be a perfect straight line. I'm just kind of having fun making it one, but just so you know, it doesn't have to be. So all black. It's okay if it has a little bluish or gray. Okay? And so what I would do is either you can pause there and let your background dry, or you could keep going on to this next step. So this next step, I'm gonna take a decent sized brush. I'll show you what I'm gonna do and then maybe you could decide. And I'm gonna take black and I'm gonna kind of go up here and do this. I'm gonna do kind of like a point and then another point. I'm gonna come down and make this really dark. It's all black, and as I go down, and so it's all these lines pointing down that are shaped like a pine tree. And we're gonna go over this with some green, so don't worry about making this too perfect. Okay, and it goes all the way down. And they're lines just pointing down. Down, 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 and as they go up, they're small. And it started with just that little triangle there. You could always pause in between, and I'm gonna do that on this side, but this time I'm gonna let it cut off a little. And I'm just doing literally like lines pointing down, like that. And the thicker you go on, so since I didn't take a break and I kept going, I have to go on really thick with this black because I've got blue that's still wet in the background. So this would be a good time to pause, or if you're like, nah, we're all sitting here with paint, we want to keep going, that is totally fine. Let's do it. But it's a good time to pause. And remember, if you don't take the break, if you don't let it dry, make sure to go on thicker. So if we don't let it dry and we want to keep working, we want thicker paint, okay? So I'm going to take a giant glob of white, and I'm just going to color in this right here. Color in my... this nice one right here, this moon. So color that in. Nice and thick, and in a circular motion. And I'm not worried about going out of my lines because the moon kind of lets out this glow that goes out of the lines a little bit anyway. Now, if you're really brave, you can do this. If you want to use a dry brush, you can. And I'm gliding around my moon. I'm lightly keeping my finger flat, bringing it out a little. This is not necessary. You can do it, or you can say, no, I'm good. This just gives my moon like the look like it's glowing. There we go. Awesome. And again, if you want a crescent moon or you're going for something different, this is your painting. Go for it. Okay. All right, that's why it's nice to have paper towels or napkins handy. I forgot to mention that. Alrighty, so we're gonna go for some stars. So there's a couple fun ways to do stars. So you can do the regular way, which is just gonna be like this. One dot, hop to another section, another dot, hop to another section, and another section. And you wanna make sure, the reason I'm hopping is because otherwise like my mind wants to put it in like a row. And the stars are usually more free and scattered. So that's one way, and here's a way I'm not sure your mom will like, but I'll show you. She might like it because it'll come out pretty. So first I dip in water. Yours are probably more clean than mine, but I dip it in the water so that my brush is really drippy, see? And then I go ahead and I take some white, and so my white should look pretty drippy too, okay? And I get rid of a little excess paint if I can. And I'm gonna pull back, not all the way. If I pull back all the way, it's gonna splatter everywhere. So what I want to do is lightly pull on it, but I need to keep moving my brush all around where the stars are going to be. And you can see some of those coming together now. See? Nice. Okay. So you can do as many stars as you'd like. And we'll move on to this next section. Again, totally up to you when you want to pause now. I feel like we could keep going on this first track. It's totally up to you. I'm going to take some black and a big scoop of white. It's okay if I get blue, it'll actually look nice. So I get like a gray. That is way too dark. You want a lot lighter of a gray. So I'm going to add a ton more white to lighten it up. That's probably a good color. You could do it a little lighter even. So mostly white and the tiniest bit of black. And a little blue will actually look nice. So I'm gonna throw some blue in with my gray. Nice. So I'm gonna go to the side from here. And I'm gonna make a nice mountain. You don't have to do the double peak. You could just do one pointy middle. Whoop, look at my gray. But I'm gonna kind of like go like this. Maybe I'm trying to be a little bit like Broken Top or something, or Mount Bachelor. And I'm going up on the peak, and I'm just not keeping it too straight. I'm kind of wavy. Once I do that, I color it in with my gray. And right now, I didn't let my paint dry, so you're gonna see a lot of blue through there. That's okay. It's actually gonna look good. It's okay if I even pull a little black from the sides of my trees. I'm not worried about that, and even from the bottom, if I pull out black. Not worried about it, but I'm going on really thick because I haven't let mine dry. If you let yours dry, you don't have to go on as thick as me. Now what I'll do, I'll even go in with some just regular black streaks in there. A little bit, not too much. Some blue streaks in there. Okay, it's a lot of blue. And now I'm gonna go in with some white streaks, which is the important part. Now the white streaks I wanna go on really thick. And those are kind of like snow trails from the top. So we have this little mountain peak here, or big mountain peak here. See? And you kind of just keep grabbing thick amounts of white, and lightly gliding downward. And remember, I do this every day. So if yours looks different, it's totally fine. This is all good practice and just having fun together as a family. Now you've got that beautiful peak there. The bottom doesn't matter too much, it'll be kind of covered. So this right here would definitely be a perfect time to let it dry. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set mine aside for a minute and then we'll come back, okay? So this, again, a good time to either take a break, go get some snacks, do some chores, whatever you need to do. I would at least let this dry for maybe 20 minutes if I could. Or you could come back to it on a second day. So I'll stop right there and then we'll come back. Hope you're enjoying it. Alrighty guys, so I let it dry for a little bit. I've still got some pretty big globs of white there, but it's okay. We're gonna keep going. And I got my palette ready to go. Again, if you've got browns or greens, grab them. Let's use them. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with a kind of like a pointy brush that might mimic like a like a branch shape well. So kind of like, see how that's pointy? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make some green, which is yellow with a little bit of blue, okay? You can make it pretty bright green if you'd like. That's what I'm going for, whatever green you'd like. Or a bluish green like this, pine green. All right, I'm gonna go in pretty thick. Again, I still have a lot of thick paint, so if you let yours dry, you don't have to go on as thick as I am. But if you didn't, you do wanna go on thick, and I keep grabbing more. And I'm just gonna kind of do some of these lines that you see, these little pine lines in the pines, are going to be down the middle. See what I mean? So they're not all just on the side like a Christmas tree cookie cutter. You know, there are actually some in the front like this. And then I can go to the side, right, and do some like that. Right? And I've got different greens in there. You can stick with one green. It's totally up to you. Okay. I actually would suggest letting it dry if you guys didn't. It's a lot easier to apply. Okay, now we've got like the shadow behind it, which is what we made at first. So you do want to see the black behind it. And then you've got, you know, your foreground, which is what makes this look more three-dimensional. So you're going to do that on the other side too. And go on pretty thick. And do those little ones pointing down. You've got a couple layers of them. So some far back like that, further back. You can see that. Oh, there we go. So further back like that. Then I come and I place them closer like that. There we go. So you do want to see that black through because that gives it that three-dimensional look. That's like the shadow of the pine tree, okay? Awesome. All right, so our next step is either if you have brown paint, go ahead and grab it. If you don't have brown paint, I will teach you how to make it right now, okay? And so brown is a hard one to make. So go ahead and watch carefully, all right? I'm gonna grab some more yellow since I used a lot for my green. So it seems like we need a lot of yellow for this. So if you have brown paint, just grab your brown paint. But if not, I'll show you. So we've got some yellow, a little bit of red to make like an orange color. Okay, so start with orange. And then I'm gonna add just the tiniest bit of black, not a lot. And there, I've got a little brown. Now I say it's hard because sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, the whole thing is black or it just looks red. Just means you have to keep building up those other two colors, you know? So go through those three colors, which is red, yellow, and black. And you can also throw in a little white if you need to lighten it, okay? Okay, so I got this brown. You wanna make a good amount of it. You guys could always say, hey, you're the color mixer, Mom, please make the brown. Or make, you know, Fritz the color mixer or whatever, and you guys could share. Say, okay, pass the brown. It's totally up to you. If you need any colors too, I can drop stuff off, no big deal. So I'm mixing in my brown. I'm taking a while to get it the way I want it because I'm being kind of picky, I guess, with my brown. So take your time. All right. So I got this kind of quirky little brown here, this tan brown. And yours could be darker, could be lighter. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. There's no right or wrong way. So we're gonna do the simple version. The one I'm looking at is a pretty simple one. If you guys wanna get really detailed next time, let me know. So we're gonna keep it a little simple and, you know, make it fun. So we're gonna go and kind of point, think of an airplane landing, kind of point down at an angle. And then we're gonna put a circle at the end of it, okay? You're gonna go up and bring the log upward like that. Awesome. Now you're gonna do more of like a, think of it as like a, there's like bread loaves that look like this, like sweet bread, like pumpkin bread. And it's kind of like churned like that on the side, more of like an oval. And then this part goes up, and this part goes up, okay? So if this is dry on the bottom, the black on the bottom, and you're nervous about this part, you can sketch it out with pencil. You can definitely sketch and erase over dry paint, just so you know. And so this one's gonna go this way. And then we're gonna churn like this. And then bring it up like that. So it looks really funny right now. That's totally normal. So let's take that light color and we're gonna color in all our circles and our oval. Okay, again, take this in pieces if you want. I think it would be good to start this part fresh, okay? This second part, okay. Nice, okay. Now I'm gonna put a couple little streaks through the other part. Like that. Awesome. Now I'm going to darken my brown. So I take my brown, I'm going to add a little more red, a little more black. And if that's starting to look just like dark maroon, then I add some more yellow. So I'm just kind of adding, like, changing the brown a little. I don't want it to look exactly like my other one. So I'm adding more black. I'm just playing with it until I get, there I go, until I get more of like a darker brown. Takes like a little bit of trying. Okay, so I kind of got a darker brown. I'm gonna add some of those streaks in there next to my other streaks. So that I don't just have one brown, you could kind of see a few browns showing through on those logs. Okay, then in the middle of this, I'm gonna add a little swirl of my other brown. And so again, I'm going on thicker because I'm going on paint. So I want to make sure I go thicker. little brown in here. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. And it's just adding little accents of brown on those. Awesome. So now I'm going to take a little black and I'm going to go right up to the edge of where that circle starts and I'm going to pull back a little bit of black like that. Little streaks of black like that. Great. Again, feel free to pause as much as you like. Now I'm going to go in for some white and I'm going to go ahead and go on the side. Now I'm going to even trace, and it's okay if it gets a little brown or black in it. It's totally natural. It looks good that way. And I'm going to go ahead around my log like that. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of white. I don't have to like completely trace it, just like a little streak of white on these logs. It just helps my eyes say, oh, I see it. Then I can, instead of going in with pure white, I can maybe go in with some gray, which is just like, you can either use brown and white or black and white. Kind of dull your white a little with a little bit of black or brown. And you just trace those a little. So I kind of made a light gray to do that. It just gives it like a highlight so I know where my logs are at. Awesome. And I can even throw a little white in the mix here and there. Just little accents. Okay, so I would take a minute to finish that part. So you could pause there and then look at that before you go on. Great, so once you've got those logs in there ready to go, let's go for the fire, okay? I'm totally ready for it, let's do it. Okay, so what we're gonna do for that fire, you know what I also wanna do to the logs? I'm gonna go ahead and take some black and even trace around them. So you can do that if you want, you don't have to. I just feel like I wanna do that. So I'm going with what I'm feeling. I'm adding a little black around where the white is. I'm not pushing down real hard, but I am adding it. Okay, so now we're gonna go for the flame. So you can be real creative with your flames and you can say, well, I'm gonna do it a little different. I'm gonna make my logs different. I'm gonna do my flames in another way. I am going to show you how I do the flames, and then again, you can make your choice on what you want to do. Okay, so I have told Ella and Fritz this, that when we wanna make something glow, we usually wanna put some white under it. So we're gonna start with pure white, okay? So I hope you guys have a lot of white. If not, let me know, I'll drop some off, okay? So you want to start with some white and a pointy brush, like your last brush, like that. And we're going to start from the middle. So the fire is usually bigger at the bottom, and then it pulls up at a point, okay? So you can be creative. You could do a swirly fire that's not really realistic. Not all art has to be realistic. It can be a statement. You could look at Picasso and see that he didn't want his stuff to be realistic. He actually could sculpt and paint very realistic. But he went for these kind of crazy designs that didn't look real. So it's up to you what you're feeling like. So here, I'm gonna start off with some pure white. You can see I've got other colors mixed in. I'm not worried about it. But I'm going for my white, and I'm gonna kind of curve into almost like a teardrop shape, and it's okay. We want it to go right in front of my beautiful mountain I made, I know. And you wanna have it, the bottom part kind of come up over the logs, okay? And you're going on real thick. See how I keep grabbing more paint? And especially in the middle, I'm gonna add a pretty thick dollop of white right there, okay? Awesome. Give you guys a minute to do that part. All right, so now I'm gonna take some pure yellow. And you can either let your white dry so that that really shows through, but actually you can even come in and let some of that white show through. You want the white to show, but you're also gonna go over it with some yellow. So just to let you know, this is always, campfires or any kind of fire is always something that people who are just learning find very hard to do. So don't feel like you're like, why is it hard for me? It is hard for everybody. For those who have experience, for those who don't. So just do your best. And so right here on the side, I'm gonna let some of that fire kind of come up. So it's not like a perfect teardrop. I'm gonna let some flames kind of stick up on the side. here too. And now the next time, when you become a painter or an artist of any type, you start to notice, especially ones who are imitating nature, drawing nature, painting nature, doing charcoal with nature, whatever it is you're doing, oil pastel. And as I go to the top, you can see it gets thinner, guys. You're gonna, every time you go out and you see these things, like now after you see a campfire, or you're painting campfire, next time you see it, you're gonna kind of see it different in your head. You're gonna go, oh, how would I paint that? Oh, okay, well, some of the flames go up on the side here. And so you can see I'm kind of going in a teardrop, but I don't want it to be too perfect. So I'm letting a couple flames out at the bottom in different directions, okay? And at the top, it is the longest at the top, like that. And I don't want to go past my peak, so I'm going to stop there. But I am going to do little flicks coming out. You don't have to do this. These are just little sparks coming up from the fire. I like to add those a little bit, and you can add them kind of back here, wherever you want, okay? So there's the yellow part, but we still need some red and orange, okay? So there's the yellow. Again, hit pause if you need to. So I'm gonna make orange, and the way I'm gonna make orange is I'm gonna mix mostly yellow with a tiny bit of red. So remember, the darker the color is, the less you need to make a color. However, if you have orange in your colors, just grab orange. So I'm gonna grab this orange I made, and I'm gonna streak that through. And again, because I'm going on really thick, the more colors we start layering, you wanna think about it like toothpaste. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of spin in there, spin in different directions. And it's okay if it kind of carves through some of my color, just go on thicker. But I'm barely, even though my brush is really full of paint, it's not pushing down. It's literally like gliding the paint on top, okay? Maybe think about when you frost a cupcake. If you were to push down really hard, you would just break the poor cupcake. So you want to like kind of think about that. You're barely, you use the butter knife and or whatever, the spatula, and lightly glide it. Okay, now I'm even gonna use some pure, like more pure red. If you're like nervous with the pure red, I decided to mix it with the orange because I got a little nervous. So I took some pure red, mixed it in with the orange, or if you have an orangish red, and I can throw in some of that red, just little bits of it, mostly on the side. And you can see how thick my painting is. So if you needed to take breaks in between, that's fine. But I would suggest go for it. Because you actually, in the fire, you want those colors to mix a little bit, and you want them to go on kind of thick. So like I said, the fire is always hard for people. So they're just little touches of red. So I'm gonna add some right there. See? There we go. All right, so there's your middle fire, but now we have some marshmallows to add. So again, this might be another good place to let it dry and say, okay, well, we'll finish the last bit, you know, tomorrow or the next day. It's totally up to you. It will be easier if you let it dry, but if you guys want to go for it, let's go for it.
Oh, 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 lay above me, spread down those wings. Give me a song in my heart to sing.
Okay, so we're gonna go for brown. And so I had a brown made, which is just, again, I start with orange. I make that yellow and red mixture, which is a little red, more yellow. Then I add a little tiny bit of black, and I get a good earthy brown. And you could always add white to lighten it, or yellow to make it like a golden brown. So I'm gonna add 2 marshmallows, and remember, you could add as many as you'd like. So you can add 1 for each of you, which is super cute. Actually, I'll add more than 2. I'm gonna add 1, 2, 3, 4. I wanted to add 5 for you guys. Can I do that? Yes, I can do that. So again, if you don't let it dry, like mine's is not dry, you're gonna see I'm going on really thick. However, if you did, don't go on so thick. You are fine. Okay, so I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna do brown like this. Whoop. There we go. It's coming from this side. Whoop. And it's okay to carve through wet paint. And I just have to add extra brown over it. There we go. So there's 1. I'm gonna do another one coming out this way. Okay, that's a little thick. You could probably make them a little thinner. And then this one over here is gonna kind of come this way. Kind of like, whoop, like that. Maybe that one's a little close to that guy. Oh well. And you can see, you can always wipe off paint if you make a mistake. You could use a brush though. I'm just so used to having paint on my hands. I just use my hand. You use a napkin or a brush. Okay, and then here I've got like a Y. So we can have 2. And then let's do another one over here so that we have 5. Okay, so I'm doing 5 because there are 5 of you. And that's just super cute. Even though Poppy can't have marshmallows yet. Okay, awesome. So I'll give you guys a minute to figure that out. And you can always do little white streaks or like yellow. So the white is nice because it just gives like a little shine. So when next time you're camping and you have the moonlight on you or you have a firelight on you, you're gonna notice that it lets a glow and that glow leaves a white shine or a golden shine. So I'm throwing in some yellow and white. That is optional. And it just makes it look like my sticks might have a little glow on them. All right, so I clean off my brush. I take a small brush because I'm gonna sketch these out. And I'm gonna go ahead and go in with these marshmallows, okay? Again, I know I keep saying this. I just like to remind people when they're watching the video. You could say, hey, I'm gonna let it dry, or let's go for it. So, and in this case, you might only need to let it dry for like 10 minutes or something. Okay, so now I'm going for white, as pure white as I can. If it has other colors in it, it's honestly okay, because it's, you know, there's shadow. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a marshmallow over here, like this. And the top of my marshmallow is not a straight line, it kind of like curves down. Okay, a little bit. And again, if you want to do it a little different and you're like, I just want to have fun and make it a square, you can. And I'm pulling the point out a little more. Okay, so you can see it kind of curves at the top instead, right here. It doesn't really make a straight line. It's more like this, see? You'll see it probably on the one that's on the background that is a different color. Okay, so it's not straight right here, it curves. Okay, so I'm gonna get more white. And that's on all the marshmallows, and there's a reason. And so same thing, I'm gonna curve. And then I'll go in, and the bottom is kind of normal. These are some big marshmallows I'm making. I'm not really minding about getting a little brown mixed in. If that does bug me, I can kind of scoop up some of that paint and add. See, it takes it right off. So I'm scooping that up. And now when I go over with white, it's gonna be a whole lot easier. There we go. If you let yours dry, you wouldn't have the same issue I'm having with it, but that's okay, I'm used to it. All right, and now here's my next one. I kind of go around like that. Like I've been saying, it's like a curve, like a sad face or a bridge or rainbow, whatever shape you want to see. And I'm gonna do maybe a smaller marshmallow. Maybe one of these is for Poppy. If you wanted to do 5 sticks, you can do that. I just thought this would be a cute way to add 2 marshmallows on one. And I can make this one a little smaller. White. Right there. There we go. You could always do the Y a little further out so you don't have that problem to have to make it smaller, but I think it's kind of cute. All right, so I'm gonna grab some white, do my last marshmallow here, making sure I curve at the top, come down into kind of like a rectangular sort of shape. And I go on super thick, puffy marshmallows. All right. At that point, if I am missing a stick here, I could take my brown and make it a little longer if I needed to. All right, and here is our last step, okay, you guys? This last step will help our marshmallows look a little more three-dimensional. So I'm gonna go in with a dark gray, which is mostly white and a little bit of black, or white and black, kind of even mixture. Depends on what color gray. Once you see what I do, you might be able to decide what kind of gray you want. So you could just watch this part before you even try it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little curve right there. And that just makes my marshmallows look a little three-dimensional. That one's at the bottom. The bottom. Curve that one. And this is optional. If you're like, nah, I'm happy with my marshmallows, they're fine. This little curve is what makes the top part look like the top part. And then I'll add even a little gray in that top part there. A little gray on the top. And a little gray on the side of the marshmallows. Again, optional. If you're like, I like my pure white marshmallows, leave it. You're totally fine. So on the bottom, I'm also adding a little gray so that I have a little accent. It looks like my marshmallows have a shadow on them, which they would in this lighting. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, the other thing I forgot that is optional as well is if you wanted to, you can add different color sparks up here. So some orange, wherever you want, little sparks coming out. Some red if you wanted to add some of that. There you go. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope it wasn't too hard. If it was, that's okay. If it didn't come out exactly how you wanted, don't be upset. That is all about the part of learning. That's part of this. This is how we get better and how we practice different types of painting. And it's all just to have a good time and be creative. So if you're like wanting one marshmallow, or you want to throw a camper in the back, or you want a shooting star up here, it's all up to you. This is your painting, so make it special and make it unique, because that's what you are, special and unique. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, you guys. Have fun. Thanks for creating with me.
This